is situated the correct way. Hold on. Maybe that'll work here. Maybe that will work because I feel like it's a little too high at times. Because when I looked back at my other video, it was way too high. And I think like the bottom of my face was like cut off. And I hate that. So I hope it's not doing that. So let's get into this video. My name is Zari if you're new here. And basically what I teach is inner work, transformation, and womb queening. That is a term that I coined, a term that I created, and a concept that I created that really is, it focuses on clearing the womb and healing the womb to understanding your relationship with the womb as well, if you are a man or you don't have a womb. So you can also understand womb queening. So healing the womb, clearing the negative energy from the womb, and understanding the womb is what womb queening focuses on in order to unleash your inner light and exude queen energy. So that's what it really focuses on. So I love it. And right now it is a publishing company that I just started, which I will be releasing my new book under, which is Beautiful Light Energy, and the course to the book as well. So all of that is exciting, but I want to get to the topic of this particular live. I was trying to figure out a way to cut it out. So what I'm going to do right now is, Zariah, stand back, sweetie. I'm filming. Zariah, I'm live. Stop. No. I am so sorry, you all. Let me see here. Is there any way I could, maybe I could pause? Or... Here you go. Can you go to your room right quick, sweetheart? Wow, there's usually people on the live, but I don't see anyone right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my face. It's just since there's nobody on right now. Spray my face a little bit. All right, so let's kind of set this camera up here because I'm also filming from my room. And hold on just a second here. I'm trying to kind of like set this camera up here.
Recording in progress.
All right. So I probably want to just do a cute little, I want to kind of smile so I can get the thumbnail. That'll be a cute thumbnail. Let me see if I can stand like this. All right. So anyway, this live is going to be about something I think is very, very important: building credit, but not in the way that you think. I don't see a lot of the quote unquote inner work gurus talking about this subject at all. And it's really about building your dream credit score. Inner work financial hack. And to me, this is the biggest inner work financial hack ever, because I feel like credit is essential to life. You know, without credit, you can't do a lot of things. And my brother always says, and he still says to this day, credit rules the world, not money. That he lives by that and he stands by that. And I really do believe that, because there are a lot of things that we cannot do without credit, like I said before. Credit is essential to helping you become your dream woman. It really is. And if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes currently in my favorite journal, as you know, my rainbow journal. Um, I always have it everywhere. I even have it in my courses whenever I teach my course. Um, you know, like I said, it's essential to helping you become your dream self. You know, it's essential to helping you buy your dream car, house, apartment. Credit is even important when you're building your dream business. And we will get into that in a few minutes, because you really have to have really good personal credit in order to get a lot of these business loans. Because in order for you to really apply for business credit, they will pull your personal credit in some cases. So that's something to look out for. So I'm just going to cover briefly. I might do a part two to this video because I feel like it might be a little long and I don't want this video to be too long. I'm trying to make sure my videos are at least 10 minutes, at least, just to kind of, do the video and say what I have to say and get off. Because I don't want to waste anyone's time. I just want to be as brief as possible and let you know about this amazing topic, which I so much love. Maybe we can switch the lighting here. I wasn't really too crazy about this lighting. I like this. Maybe that's better. Or maybe I need to kind of like turn it up a little bit. Maybe I could just, I don't know. Maybe the warm light is better. Maybe turn it up a little bit. Okay. But anyway, let's get into this topic. So let's talk about it. So what are some of the things that you can do to, build your credit? So back, way back, a few years ago, a couple years ago, I started working on my credit, I say about 2018 to 2019. And also I want to point out too, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't really give you financial advice, but I'm just speaking on my personal experience only. And I feel like I can talk because I build my credit to 780. Yes, a 780 score, and I'm only 27 years old. So I started early and I ended up with a 780 score. Yes. Amazing credit. So I feel like I can talk because I did all of this by myself. I read and I researched I researched some things on how to build credit. And so I feel like I can talk. I feel like I can talk. So, and I can. So definitely listen to me if you want to learn how to do this. So, one of the things that I did was get a secure credit card. And what is a secure credit card? So basically, a secure credit card is when you take your own money and you put on a credit card. So they give you like I'm trying to remember how it went because it's been so long ago. This was around 2018 or 2019 I did this. So they give you a card, so you apply for it. And then if you get approved, you can start. Oh, someone's sending me likes on TikTok. Sorry, you guys, if it stopped live for a little bit. Um, anyway, so they'll send you that you will apply for a secure credit card, and basically, if you get approved, you can put your own money on that credit card. So basically, you will be spending your own money off that credit card, and then you will be paying it, before the due date or on the due date. But it's your money. You're just spending and paying back what you owe yourself. So that's kind of like how a secured credit card works. So it's really different in a sense. but that's what you start off with if you barely have any credit at all or no credit, or if your credit is kind of bad. I don't really know how bad credit works because I didn't have bad credit, but I had no credit. And some people call that bad credit because they say no credit is bad credit. That's what they say. So, and it is in a sense because you can't do a lot of things either if you have no credit. So you have to build your credit. So I started off with a secure credit card. In the first, so I started off with that. In the first credit card I had, it allowed me to have a $250 limit. So I put $250 of my own money on the card. And then one thing that I did, which I think really helped my credit, was figure out how much percentage to spend, how much of that, how much of the percentage to spend off the card, and how much not, how much not to spend. So if that makes sense, hopefully you all are following me here because I'm dropping some gems. So really what that means is you are only going to spend a certain amount of your credit limit. So you have a credit limit. Let's say you have a credit limit like mine, $250. All right. You are only going to spend 30% of that $250. And I think I calculated it earlier. So 30% of $250 is $75. And so that's what I did. I only spent like $75 of that $250. And I would do that. I think I did that every month. And then right when I would spend it, because I had a job, I had a pretty good job when I was living in Jackson. I used to live in Jackson, Mississippi. Shout outs to Jackson. But right when I would do that, when I would spend that 30% or less. So this is the key. You either spend 30% or less off of your card. That's the key to building credit. It really is. And I'm telling you why. Credit card companies, for some reason, love when you spend less or spend only 30% of your credit because it shows that you're not depending on your credit in a sense, in my opinion. This is what I think, and I think I've heard this from other credit gurus who have been talking about credit before on their channels. It just makes you look like you're not as dependent on your credit when you're spending all of this money off your credit card and you're not paying it off as fast. It kind of shows the credit card company, okay, she or he is spending all this money off this credit card and they're not paying it off fast. So maybe they're depending on the money that's on their credit card. Maybe they don't have any money and the only money they have is the credit card. So they're not going to be able to pay us when due date comes. So that's kind of like how it looks. So it kind of looks bad if you spend more than 30%. You always want to make sure that you are spending 30% or less than 30%. And that's it. Because you want to look good to the credit card companies. You don't want to look bad to them. And even if you spend more than 30%, you want to make sure that you paid it off immediately, pay it off fast. And that'll help with your credit as well. So let's get into that third point. So the third point is balance decrease. So let's say you have a high balance. And so let's say you have you so in let's say in one day you spent $1,000 off your credit card. And let's say whatever credit limit that you have, let's say the credit limit that you have, that's going over 30%. All right. So follow me here. I hope everybody is following. Hope they understand this because this is, like I said, this is a really great hack. And I'm gonna get into why it's a great inner work hack in a few minutes. So anyway, let's say you spent $1,000 off your credit card, and whatever your credit limit is, that went over 30% of that credit limit. All right, whatever it is. And since you went over, let's say the next week or a couple days later, you pay about, well, let's say it's set there, right? And let's say you paid a little bit of it off. Let's say you paid $100 or something of that, $1,000 off. And the closing date to the credit card, which I'll get into too in a few minutes, or I'll do a part two because I don't want this video to be long, like I said. Let's say the let's say the closing date came where let's say you paid the minimum of the $1,000. So you paid the minimum credit limit. So you paid the minimum payment that you could pay on that $1,000 that you spent, right? And the closing date of the credit card comes. So the closing date, they take a picture, the little credit people take a picture of your credit and they report it to the credit bureaus that you paid the minimum on the card for that $1,000. So your interest goes up. And that happens. If you have a high balance and you pay the minimum on it, your balance, even though you paid a little bit, the balance, the interest will accumulate. So it'll charge you an interest charge for that payment. It'll charge you an interest for that purchase, that expense, or however you want to say it. But let's say you didn't do that first scenario. Let's say you spent about, how do you say it? Let's say you spent 500. Let's say you paid $500 instead of the minimum payment. So that's half of the $1,000 that you already spent. So what's going to happen the next closing date? They're going to take a picture, like I said, the credit people, and they're going to report it to the credit bureaus on closing day. So what may happen is, and this is the amazing part, your credit has decreased because you paid half of that $1,000. And because you paid half of that $1,000, your credit may go up a whole lot because your balance decreased. And this has happened to me before. I had a purchase that was large and I paid a lot of it off, more than, it was like more than half the amount. And I noticed that once the closing date had ended and the report was in, let's say the credit report was in, my credit just went super high. It went way up. It went up the way I wanted it to go up. So I was like, what? Oh my God, that's amazing. My credit has gone up. And I found out why through Experian. And that's a good website too. Like I said, I might do a part two where I talk about Experian and, other things in this video. I didn't get to unsecure loans. I might get to that in the second part. So balance decrease is a good way to increase your credit too. If you just have to if you just have to make a large purchase and you have the money to pay it off very fast. So if you are trying to borrow money and you have money that can replace that money, some of that money that can replace it, and you just need to borrow that money and you'll have money later to pay it off very fast, or pay half of it off very fast, or more than half, or more than, let's say you have more than half of the money to pay it off, then yes, you can do that. I would definitely recommend that, a balance, definitely do a balance decrease, and it will make your credit go up. So yeah, yep. And it will lower the interest of the the balance that you have. So the interest rates will lower. So when I did mine that way, so when I noticed that when I paid more than half of the balance of my credit card, So not only did the balance decrease because I paid more than half of it, and not only did my credit go up in a good way, so amazing. Not only did it go up, but the interest on that expense or that purchase went down significantly. So let's say it was like 29% interest, it went down all the way to like 9 or 10%. You see what I'm saying? The interest went significantly down. That happens as well. So you have to take all of that into account. All of this goes in with your credit, and all of this may increase it. Spending only 30% of your credit, decreasing the balance of your purchase on your credit card if you made a huge purchase, more than 30%. All of this goes into building your credit. And another thing I would say also with the, in the secure loans to help with everything as well, I would say one of the biggest thing is that help with building credit as well. I just mentioned it, paying before the closing date, because the closing date is very important. The closing date is when the credit companies take pictures of your credit that you have, the balance. They take pictures of the balance, and they send this information to the credit bureaus. If you can pay your amount off, or a large percentage of your amount off that you have on your credit card, let's say the balance, before that closing date, you are in good hands. You will see so much transformation. You will see your credit go up so much. And it'll just be amazing, beautiful. I swear to you, please do that. Um, do not pay on the due date. Always pay before the due date, way ahead of time, like in advance, and always pay before the closing date. Never pay on the closing date or never pay on the due date. I would definitely pay before the due date. This is the experience I've had, building credit. And so, like I said, I feel like I can talk. So this is what I did. I would suggest that you do it too. So, yeah, those are some of my tips for building credit. And like I said, building credit, you know, it rules. Credit rules the world. It really does. You have to have these things if you want, a better life. And I say a better life because some people cannot get a brand new car. Let's use that as an example. If you want a car, literally what you have to do is you have to. I would recommend anybody who wants a car to have good credit, like a brand new one. Because if you don't have good credit, you're possibly going to need a co-signer. And, if by chance you know somebody, I had a friend that knew somebody who, one of my friends had bad credit, and they knew one of the people that worked at the dealership, and the person at the dealership kind of worked with them and helped them with their credit. But if you are somebody that has bad credit and you don't know anybody like that, let's say you don't know anybody at the dealership, more than likely you're probably going to have a co-signer. And the problem is with that is some people don't have anybody that can help them do that. Some people are just not going to take the risk on you because they want their credit. I've known some people who helped somebody out who had bad credit, and they were a co-signer on cars, and what happened was the person didn't pay the note, and the co-signer was the person who the company went after, and it made their credit bad. So um you really really have to be careful with that. So that's why a lot of people don't want to co-sign. So if you don't have a co-signer, you're really kind of asked, I mean, stuck in a sense. So unless you have a friend that can help you do that, or unless you know somebody at the car dealership. So it just depends. So it's better just to kind of like go in with good credit, in my opinion. Just like I wanted to say earlier with business credit. When you have, and I'm doing this right now, I don't have much experience with business credit because I'm just starting a new business and embarking on this right now. and I'm learning all I can know about business credit. I know about personal credit, a lot about that. So, personal credit. So if I know how to build personal credit, I know damn well how to do business credit. So I'm studying everything I need to know about that. But from what I've learned, a lot of the times, let's say you want a business loan, or you want a business loan from the bank. Let's say you want to put your business name in your car, in your brand new car. Maybe you want to use it as a company car. And you have to get, like, in some cases, you can get a loan, a business loan, in order to pay for that car. So they pull your personal credit in order to, in some cases, they'll pull your personal credit in order to make sure that you apply or that you are eligible for that business loan. So it all goes in with each other. You have to have these things in order to be successful in life. And that's why I feel like building your dream credit score and getting there to the top, building your dream credit, is essential to really becoming your dream self. I feel like the ultimate dream woman or the ultimate dream man works on things like this, because credit and all of these things are essential to building wealth as well, building a generational wealth. All of these things are really essential to success in life, in my opinion. That's how I look at it. And I feel like it has made me successful in a sense, because I'm able to get things with my credit. I Because my credit was good, I was able to get this apartment as well, because they had to pull my credit for that as well. They had to check things out. So credit, like I said, credit is apartments, credit cards. How are you going to get a credit card, with a poor credit score? You see what I'm saying? The big time credit cards, like, even with, I'm on Chase, Chase, American Express, Discovery, all the big time credit cards, they that are unsecure. That's why I say start off with a secure card so you can work your way up to an unsecure card. So, because and unsecure cards, I really want to get into that in the next video. I'll get into that later. So I'll probably do a part, like, I'm gonna do a part 2 to this. So don't worry. um so to really get to that high level credit cards, you're going to really need good credit, a great credit score in order to get those cards. And those cards are a lot of money, like tens to 20,000 some dollars, Um, yeah, yeah. So that's my take on credit. I feel like that's a really great inner work financial hack, is building credit, building your dream credit, building it. It's so essential to life. I can't stress that enough, how important credit really really is. And I think if we learn how to do our inner work as well, I feel like this is a great inner work hack, because a lot of our parents don't teach us about these things. You know, really look in inward and say to yourself, what's a great prompt there? I know it'll come to me while I'm on this live. I really want to think about it. When we look at our limiting beliefs surrounding money, I think credit, building generational wealth, all of those limiting beliefs relating to those topics kind of stem from our past, and our, how do you say it? It stems from our past and our parents, really. When I first started I took this money course recently. It was like a money consciousness course, and it wasn't on credit, but it was talking about money and money consciousness. And what I really gathered from it, and what I really learned from it, was that I had learned a lot of my limiting beliefs surrounding money from my parents. They didn't believe that money could, you know, be limitless. They didn't believe that you could have money easily. They believed that you had to work hard for money, in a sense, if that makes sense. It couldn't come to you easily. So I essentially learn that from them, or unconsciously, I say unconsciously learn that from them. And that's why I had all of those limiting beliefs when I finally took the time to write in my journal and started uncovering these things about myself. So writing your journal, ask yourself, why do I believe I cannot build good credit, or have good credit? Because some people don't even believe that they can have good credit because they've had bad credit for such a long time, or they have had no credit for such a long time. And I'm telling you, I am living proof. I am a testimony. I did not have any credit at all. So basically I was in like the 630s, I think I was, which was pretty bad. I didn't have any credit, like 630, 640, something like that. And I'm telling you, my credit, I took my time and I learned the system. I learned everything that I could possibly learn about credit, studied, and I was able to build my credit to 780. And I'm still young. It's unheard of for a younger person to really have good credit, super good credit like that. Almost a 800 credit score. So ask yourself those questions. Like I said, some people don't even believe that they can have an amazing credit score. You know what I mean? So ask yourself that. Why do you believe that you don't deserve? And some people unconsciously believe that they don't deserve good credit. That too. Like some people believe that they don't deserve a good life. They don't deserve, because they're such in that limiting mindset. So ask yourself, if you have those beliefs that you can't can't achieve good credit, you won't be able to have a good credit score, or you don't believe that you can do it, ask yourself why. Why do you believe that? Did your parents have bad credit? Did they have bad credit habits? Did they have bad money habits? Did they have bad finances? Did they believe that money could not come easily? Um, were they aware of money consciousness? And if they weren't, you really need to do some inner work. And that's why this is a really good inner work financial hack, is building credit. I swear by it. I live by it. And I don't see, like I said, I don't see the gurus talking about this, the inner work gurus talking about this. This is so important to life. It's essential. So, yeah, I'm so glad that I could share that with you. I wanted this to be free for you all because I wanted you to learn more about credit. I did this video because I want people to know about this. Like I said, this is important to know. This is an important message, and I feel like it's essential for everyone to know about these things. It's definitely important. So if you feel like it's important, comment below. Let me know how you feel about this and the things I said on this live. I really would love to know your thoughts and your, you know, what do you think about this? What do you think about credit? Do you believe credit rules the world? Or do you think it's money? So, what do you think about that? And tell me your thoughts. Do you have limiting beliefs surrounding credit? Do you want to make it your goal? Do you want to put that on your vision board? That you want to, build a perfect credit score? Because it's definitely possible. Thank you so much for tuning into the live. Again, I'm sorry. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you so much for tuning into the live, and everybody who watched the recording. Bye.